Hey, what's up, everybody? Super excited to be here. So blessed. It's first time in Dubai, and thank you, Kinza, for inviting me. This has been amazing so far. So a little bit about myself, where I came from. Um, I'm actually born. I was born in South Korea, and then I was adopted by my parents in the States. So I grew up in this place called Iowa. Does anyone know where that is? It's like in the middle of nowhere. Right? So farms, cows, the whole bit. So, growing up for me was hard because one, I looked different, and two, I spoke different. So I had this speech impediment, and I couldn't say the letter R until I was in my 20s. So I know it sounds super silly, but literally just never talked to people. Growing up for me was hard because I didn't have a lot of friends, and I was always getting in trouble, getting bad grades. My parents thought I was going to be like a juvenile delinquent, and so life wasn't looking too good for me until I found dance. And dance kind of became my passion, my fire, something I was finally good at. And I kept on working and practicing and practicing. Then I started traveling and competing and battling and winning competitions. Eventually I made it on this TV show called So You Think You Can Dance. And that's when my life really started to change. And I started traveling the world. And towards the end of my dance career, I was making $1,000 an hour just teaching at mom and pop studios in the middle of Iowa in the Midwest. And so here I was, just living life, traveling the world, doing what I love, and then I hurt my back in India, 2016, which ended my dance career. So I was on top, and boom. Next day, I didn't know what to do. I broke my back, and I remember being rushed to the hospital, and the doctor was like, I don't think you're ever going to dance again. And so I became depressed. I didn't know what I was going to do. The same friend who got me into dancing called me up and was like, Zach, listen, I know you're depressed. I know you're going through some hard times, but listen, me and my brother are making a ton of money on Instagram. You got to get in on this. And so with the last little money I had, I sent a check, $10,000, and then I acquired a 400,000 follower Instagram page. So it was in the comedy space, and we started growing comedians, stars and up-and-coming comedians like, Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle. And we kind of rinsed and repeated the process. And back in those days, these were the early days of Instagram, we were growing accounts thousands of followers per day. And we basically just rinsed and repeated the process, started acquiring more accounts, built a network to over 200 million followers. And fast forward today, guys, life has really changed for me. We're working with some of the biggest thought leaders, influencers in the world, people like Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Ritz Carlton, Grant Cardone, Russell Brunson. These guys are all clients of ours. And so my goal here today is to teach you guys just how to get seen, known, and heard all over the place online. Because if you think about it, building your personal brand is one of the most valuable things that you can work on. It'll catapult you to magnificent places. And if you think about it, all great CEOs, all great entrepreneurs have great personal brands. So I'm going to teach you guys how to growth hack Instagram 2022 and help you get seen and known and heard all over the place. So there's a huge opportunity here, right? There's over 2 billion active users on Instagram. Over 700,000 people use Instagram stories every single day. So it's a really great platform to build, grow your personal brand, grow your business, all with social media on Instagram. So these are the things I'm going to teach you: how to post, create more leads and customers for your company, develop a strategy to help you go viral and get more content views. And I'm going to be teaching you how to grow your business with Instagram as well and how to work with influencers. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So these are just numbers here, but everybody's using Instagram to promote their stores, to promote their brands. So I want to focus mostly on growth hacking, okay? So step one, I'm going to teach you about Instagram SEO. So we know how it's so important to rank for, page 1, page 2 on Google, Amazon as well, as Torter was saying, right? It's keywords are so important. So one hack that we learned is that you can actually rank for different keywords on Instagram, right? So here's our page, Glamour Ideal. And out of the billions of users, we're ranking on the first and second page, search results, which is super powerful. So all you have to do is simply in the name section. So you go to edit your profile, in the name section, write 2 to 3 keywords that you want to rank for. And over time, as you're posting the right content and using the right hashtags and these engagement groups, you're going to start to rank towards the top. Here's another one of my accounts, luxury hotels. And so this is all about travel. This is a repost page, so we're essentially reposting other people's beautiful content, giving them credit, and then making it go viral. And as you can see, like, we're hitting the top results for all these different keywords, travel, which is really, really amazing, right? So you can do the same thing for your page as well. All you have to do is edit your profile, type in keywords, and over time, you'll start to rank for these different keywords. This is one cool way that I'm actually monetizing my account, because I have a travel mastermind. So I basically teach people how to become destination travel influencers, how to travel the world for free, get pretty much everything for free, and then how to get brand sponsorships and collaborations. And so I have a Forbes article, and it's how millennials use Instagram to travel the world for free. So the whole article is just value, value, value. At the end of the article, I was able to put a free guide. So that's my lead magnet. At the end of the guide, at the article, once they click the free guides, it takes them to my chat bot. And then boom, it's like, hey, I'm Zach. I see that you wanted my free guide. What's the best email? They type in their email. Boom, it's on its way. By the way, how about joining my free Facebook group where I'm going to be dropping more value? And I get about 40 to 50 people every single day saying, yes, I want into your free Facebook group. And you guys know all that. It takes about 5 to 8 exposures before somebody buys something high ticket. And so, step one, you want to have a PR article, be in a publication like Forbes, which builds street credibility, which builds trust. People buy from people they like and they trust. 2, you want to give value. So this article is all about, just growth hacking and travel hacking. I give them more value in my travel Facebook group, and then basically I get them to join, my $20,000 mastermind in the Maldives, just with this simple funnel. Step number 2, with great content comes growth. Now, I'm going to be talking about 2 things here, right? Because we've all heard of these these repost accounts, these hubs, these repost pages. So luxury hotels is like a repost hub page where we're reposting other people's travel content, giving them credit, using the engagement groups, using the right hashtags to grow the account. And so all we're simply doing is searching on hashtags like hashtag travel, and we're finding all of these people's content, we're reposting it onto our pages, and that's how we're growing our network and driving a lot of traffic to our different offers. Now, you can basically buy any type of page on Instagram. So I really recommend that you try to go find a page that's in your industry and your niche. Let's say you're interested in fashion or fitness or travel or makeup and beauty. Go find a page that has 50 to 100,000 followers on it. Make them an offer. And you'd be surprised. A lot of these pages are run by teenagers, 15, 16, 17 years old. And so by simply paying, offering like $500 or $1,000, a lot of these people are willing to sell their pages because they're kind of done with it, right? They want to move on. They're going to college. They want to, do something else. And so you're able to go in and get these pages for like pennies on the dollar for almost nothing. And with these big pages, you can use it to get into big engagement groups, connect with bigger people, and use it kind of as a feeder to grow your main account. I put together like a prompt list, so if you want to take a picture of this might help you get some of your creative juices flowing for your personal brand. So the type of content that's working really well on social media, not only on Instagram, but LinkedIn and all these other platforms, is when you talk about pains and gains. So talk about a time where you maybe lost your biggest deal or overcame a sickness, an addiction, you firing an employee, or maybe even getting fired from a job yourself, right? You can talk about all these different things, and what we found is that the more honest, the more real, the more authentic you are with your content, it builds more trust and gets more people to follow you, and they all really resonate with that type of content nowadays. Here's another just list of different things that you can talk about. So maybe it's like you reaching up to a mentor and having somebody pour into you and teach you some key things in life. Or it's like talking about a bad boss or bad clients. We've all been there. So being open up and honest, and maybe even stirring a little controversy, is the type of content that's working really well. Because think about it, people are constantly clicking and moving, so you only have like a few seconds to pique their interest, to get them to click, to hit that heart button, and to hit that follow button. So you really want to create types of content that's going to make them keep consuming. And these are just like a couple of openers that we use. So, we're using these 1 or 2 sentence openers that are working really well. So, this is on LinkedIn, for example, but it works well on Instagram as well, because when people click, read more, see more, it counts as a view, counts as engagement. So you want them to keep on clicking. Step number 3, hashtags. So we have a lot of misinformation about hashtags, right? Some people are like, let's put 30, 60 hashtags on a post. Nowadays, the less, the better. So you want to actually use, I would say, between 10 to 15 hashtags per post. And how you do hashtag research is you start off with a really big hashtag. So let's say e-commerce, right? It has over 12.2 million posts on it. That's a really big one. So the likelihood of you actually just using that hashtag and ranking for the top posts is very little if you only have a few hundred followers. So start with a big hashtag and narrow down. Try to find hashtags that have 50 to 100,000 posts on them, 100 to 200,000 posts, 200 to 500,000 posts, and create multiple sets of hashtags, 10 to 15 hashtags per set. Rotate them throughout the month, see which ones perform the best, give you the most exposure and content views. So that's how you do hashtags, right? Use a variety, small, big, and large. Step number 4, engagement groups. So we've all heard about these engagement groups, these comment pods, these Telegram groups. So what are they? Well, the ones that I'm going to be talking about right now are DM groups, so direct message groups. So it's basically you and 14 other people inside a group, and essentially all you're doing is liking and commenting on each other's posts throughout the day. So when you post, you copy the URL link to your post, you drop it inside the group, say posted, and then everybody inside the group likes and comments on your post. Now, what happens is when you get a like and a comment from a really big account that's much bigger than yours, a verified account, or account that has 1 million followers on it, that type of like holds more weight. So if you get enough of those in a short window of time and throughout the day, it's going to help you go onto the Explore page and boost you to the top so that everybody sees your content. And so how I got into some of these groups, when I didn't have a lot of followers, you're probably wondering, Zach, I only have 1,000 followers or a couple hundred followers. How am I going to get an account that has 1 million followers on it to like my stuff? Well, so when I didn't have a lot of followers, I reached out to these accounts and I made them an offer. And I was like, hey, I'm new to Instagram. I heard that, Instagram engagement groups are where it's at. Everybody's using them to grow and go viral. I'd be willing to pay you for each engagement group that you can get me into. And yeah, again, these were most of the big pages were run by teenagers, 18, 19 years old. And so I said, hey, what if I give you $100? How many engagement groups can you get me into? And some kids just went crazy, and that's kind of how I built my 200 million network. So simply DMing pages that are in your niche, in your industry, making them an offer, offering $5 to $10 per engagement group still works today. And that's kind of how that you can create your network. The second way is going back to where I was talking about buying a page. So if you buy a page for a few $100, let's say it's 50,000 followers or 25,000 followers, they have engagement groups according to your size. So you can actually use that account as a feeder to gain access to some of these really big engagement groups. And then you can use the engagement groups to grow your main account, the account that you really want to focus and grow with this feeder account. So that's why I recommend that everybody buys a feeder, a repost page, to gain access to some of these engagement groups to help you grow. Okay, so the last thing that I really want to like focus on and break down is like how to work with influencers and how to connect with celebrities and get them to promote your products and promote your offers for free. Now it's not really for free. It's like creating a win-win, almost like a barter, a win-win type idea. And so here's like Jay Park, right? And through Jay Park, I was able to connect with Beyonce and Jay-Z, and we're working on some cool things. But basically, I offered to grow his DJ for free. And so I did that for a year, and then I taprooted into his network and gained access to all of these celebrities. In exchange, he promoted some of my clients' products and some of our offers for free, and he just tagged us in different stories and on his Instagram. And so you have to think about it. Everybody wants to get more exposure. Everybody, for the most part, a lot of these celebrities love to travel and get everything for free, right? When you approach them, most of them are like charging you a crazy number. That's because you have no relationship with them. They have no idea who you are. But if you lead with value, you figure out what's their biggest challenge, what's something that they're working on. Maybe you connect the dots for them. Maybe you hook them up with a 10-night stay in the Maldives for their 10-year anniversary or honeymoon, right? You have to think outside the box or think of something that you can help them with and offer that for free. And that's how you're going to gain access and kind of get your foot into the door. And so, how I traveled and stayed at some of the most luxurious hotels in the world for free was all through Instagram, right? And so this is just an example of one of the ways that you can kind of get your foot in the door with celebrities is, let's say that you buy a travel account, right? So I'm going to teach you both ways, right? But okay, let's say that you don't even have enough money or you don't want to buy a travel account. Like what I used to do is I'd reach out to these pages that had 1 million followers on them, 500,000 followers on them, and I'd say, hey, how much do you charge for a post? And a lot of these accounts came back with hey, $50 per post, like a promotional post on their wall. They're only charging me $50, $100. And so when I didn't have a lot of followers, guys, do you see what I'm doing? I basically created a network. I made a list of all these different pages in the travel niche, and basically I leveraged their followings. I taprooted into their networks. So when I approached these amazing hotels in the Maldives, like Suniva Johnny, now it's $50,000 a night, right? Kings and queens stay there. Will Smith was my neighbor one time. It was insane. But basically, I got 7 nights there because I did 2 positive Instagram posts on somebody else's account. I gave them all of their content. I did a TripAdvisor review, Facebook review, and that's how I got that free stay. So you can actually use this for yourself, for your loved ones, and then also celebrities that you want to connect with. Because again, everybody wants something. Everybody wants to create beautiful memories with their loved ones, their business partners, and travel. And so this is one creative way that I use to connect with celebrities and get their price to go down, right? So paying for an A-lister could cost $50,000, $100,000 US just to get them to post on Instagram. But if I come to them and I say, hey, I'm going to get you a free stay in the Maldives, all paid for, in exchange, can you help me with this, this, and that? I've been able to get a lot of these A-listers to promote my stuff just with this simple barter trade, which is really cool. And so what you want to do in the subject line, you always want to, I usually put subject line idea or VIP reservation. In the email, I say, hello, I'm Zach. I'm an Instagram influencer. I have a 12 million follower travel network. I'm actually coming your way. These are the dates. In exchange for your best available suite, breakfast, lunch, and dinner would be nice. Spa experiences would be amazing. We can do the following. And then in my value stack, I basically say positive Instagram posts, stories on these accounts, TripAdvisor review, Facebook review, 5 stars if we have a good time. I'll give you all rates to the content. And that's basically my email to all these different hotels. So you guys can use this strategy to travel for free, stay at these awesome hotels, get these hotel stays for these celebrities as well that you want to connect with. And it's all about creating win-wins. So that's pretty much all I had for you guys. I'm going to leave it, give you guys some time for Q&A if you have any questions. This is how to connect with me. At Luxury Hotels is my main account. My other personal got hacked. I should have that at the end of the month. But if you want our free Instagram growth hacking guide, teach you guys how to growth hack 2022, get that QR code, follow me, DM me, and happy to share that with you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Zach.